Hi everybody, how's it going today? I'm out by the haylage pile here, out back by our feeding area. Got Ian and Eli with me here this afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon here today. We need to take some feed samples. I need to sample this haylage, a couple lots of baleage, our earlage, and then also a grass hay, dry hay. Usually our nutritionist does that, but just with the way his schedule is, we're going to pull these samples, get them sent off tomorrow. Who's coming?
Chopper guy!
Chopper guy? That's a payloader, guys. We just started feeding from this haylage yesterday, 2 days ago. Either 2 days ago or yesterday, now I can't quite remember. We've got quite a cut across of it here already. Wanted to show you guys the pile. If you remember here, it's been about a month now, I suppose, when we chopped this first cutting haylage. Talked about the plastic that we were trying. So we were sent some plastic by Silostop. This plastic was the Silostop Complete. It's one sheet, using one sheet to cover piles instead of the 2-sheet system. So they sent us some plastic to try and for me to give a review on. So I wanted to show you guys here once we got this pile opened up to see what the alfalfa looked like. My thoughts on the plastic here to start with. It's only been about a month, but we wanted to get started feeding on this pile as quickly as possible because the plan is to pile corn silage where I'm standing here right now, where this pile is. Gonna show you guys what the plastic looks like here on the outside before we get on there. Didn't have any problems with holes. Wasn't expecting to have any problems, and we were able to seal it off pretty good. As you can see, the plastic is tight to the feed, and the tires obviously help a lot with that, so we covered the whole pile with tires. We typically try to do that as much as possible if we have enough tires. Sometimes if we have high yields, we're not able to cover everything, but we're able to now. We've got enough tires here. We should, in theory, be able to cover our second cutting pile completely, but I'll talk a little bit more about that once we get into the video. Ian, be careful up there. Be careful up there.
Eli, Chopper guy's coming back.
So this is what it looks like here. Typically, if you get some spoilage, especially on haylage, you're going to get it along the top here or on the edges. I'm pretty satisfied with how the haylage looks here. It smells really good. Still, I think it's not hot, but it's still maybe fermenting a little bit, which not surprising because we opened it up pretty quickly here. It's only been about 4 weeks. See what it looks like over here. So it's a little discolored because we had a couple inches of rain here a few days ago, but no spoilage here, even right along the bottoms here. Feed looks really good. So I wasn't expecting to have any problems with haylage just because we're opening this pile so quickly. Really, the true test will be once we get into corn silage. We're going to save some of this plastic to cover our corn silage, and that sits for up to a year and a half, even up to, could be 18-20 months sometimes by the time we get to feeding our corn silage. So that'll be really the true test with how this plastic holds up long term. The other plastic we use has a fiber, or I don't know what, fiber mesh in it. Not sure what it's exactly made out of, but it really helps with the strength of the plastic. But the downside of that is you need to use oxygen barrier, so it's 2 sheets of plastic you're putting on, because that plastic doesn't adhere to or doesn't stay stuck to the feed as well. So far what I'm seeing from this plastic, it does seem to stay tight to the pile as good as the oxygen barrier does that we have on our other piles. But like I said, it'll be a better test on our corn silage to really know how this plastic performs long term. But so far, satisfied with how it's working. We'll probably cover our second cutting haylage also with this plastic, and then we're going to save the rest that I have to use on our corn silage, or at least that was my plan anyways. So I've got my bucket, grabbed some alfalfa from a few spots. Ian helped me with that, so we're going to put that on our moisture tester, see what the dry matter is exactly, because what we've got entered in the computer right now is what it was fresh when we chopped it off the field. And then I've got a small Ziploc bag here, got it labeled first cut haylage 2024. We'll send this off also, and then our nutritionist will make changes to our ration if needed. Right now he is going off of those fresh samples that I pulled. We'll go over and sample the other lots of baleage, the earlage and the dry it's need to get our mowers hooked up to our 942 tractor. Potentially gonna mow alfalfa tomorrow, but it's just been nothing but rain here since first cutting. Really struggled with wet field first cutting, and it just rained every 3, 4, 5 days since then. Got 2 inches of rain on the 4th, like I said. Got another, or a little more than 2 inches, got another tenth to a quarter inch here a couple days ago. Our field is we're definitely not gonna be able to cut our field tomorrow, but on Tyson's field it didn't get as much rain out that direction, so we're going to check that this afternoon. Would really like to cut that tomorrow afternoon and chop it the following day. We're gonna have to do it in two separate times, our field and Tyson's field. Just we need to get as much off as possible to get some quality out of this alfalfa. This ended up testing what was it? I think both fresh samples were around 150, 160, somewhere in there, which not bad, not disappointed with that. Protein was over 20 if I remember right, which is not terrible, but really shooting for 170, 175 plus if possible. So typically the way we do it with feeding our alfalfa, we're feeding 2 lots of alfalfa together, higher quality with not as good quality. So right now we're feeding this with like a 210 relative feed value baleage. Not quite half and half, however John wants to figure that out in his rations. That's how it's in there. So our late lactation cows will get more of the lower quality, high production cows will get more of the higher quality. But we're trying to get a blend of 180, 190 relative feed value year round. And we do that with using 2 different lots of baleage or haylage all the time. So I'd really like to make some higher quality feed out of second cutting here, particularly on Tyson's, if we can get that cut here tomorrow. On ours, we're just gonna have to see, because we would have liked to cut it 4 weeks after cutting first cutting, but we're already, I think that would have been like yesterday or 2 days ago. So we're past that already, and we need to get it done because otherwise we're off schedule for 3rd and 4th cutting, because we want to get 4th cutting done either like first week of September, really, no later than that. Otherwise it gets too late to get good regrowth. But kind of rambling here. Gonna pull some more samples, put this on our moisture tester, and yeah, try to get our mowers put on our tractor so that's ready to go, service them, look the knives over. So I'm in the shop here. Just thought I'd show you guys this quick. I've shown you before when we were chopping silage, but got our alfalfa here. Mix it up from the few spots that I grabbed in the pile. Fill the basket up to 100 grams, and then we'll set it on this heating elements that's blowing hot air through this. So we're essentially cooking the moisture out, and then we'll weigh it again, and that gives us our dry matter. So that helps us make sure that the way that the rations are formulated, that we're accurately adding enough pounds of this ingredient. And we'll do this from time to time on our silage, our earlage, haylage, sometimes on baleage if we think that it's not accurate what the test showed. But those are the main feeds that we're testing dry matter on all the time, just to make sure that we're putting the right amount of pounds in, because obviously if there's more moisture in the feed, we need to add more pounds of that feed to get the same amount of dry matter for our cows. So we'll go pull those other samples here. You guys ready?
Oh, look at that!
Is that a brown girl? This is the lot of baleage. These two, this M4B3, S43. So essentially what that means is M is the field, fourth cutting. Sometimes they'll split the fields into A, B, C, so different sections of the field to get more accurate tests, or they'll cut it separate times if it's a bigger field. And then 3 means 2023, so these are 2023 bales. So this is field S, fourth cutting, and 2023. These bales are purchased from a local farm that has alfalfa in their rotation along with soybeans and corn, and they will pull a sample and then we'll pull a sample to confirm, and we pay based on the average of the two samples. We pay based on quality. So we'll I did M4 B3 already. Show you guys what it looks like. Looks like it's pretty good feed. Pretty good alfalfa. So I'll try to sample 4 or 5 bales just randomly along the line here that I can reach easily. Show you guys on this one here how I do that. Watch out, Eli. We got this attachment on the drill. So now my bit's full of alfalfa. If you guys can see this here. Hard to see with the sun being so bright. Got my bag here. We'll empty this into the bag. Well, Ian, he brought it out. This is a drier baleage by the looks of it, so that's what it looks like. So I'll do at least another 3 bales, maybe 4, to get a good average of that lot. That's the idea. Ian and Eli are fighting over there. What are you guys doing? I'd be more concerned if they weren't fighting on occasion, because brothers just fight. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. I know. It's okay. It's okay. In our hay shed here now, also need to sample these square bales of grass hay. Changing lots of grass hay here next week. This is for our close-up dry cows. They get some grass hay in their mix. So I'll do the same as with the baleage. Try to pull from 4 or 5 bales, the ones that I can reach here. And there's 2 lines of bales here, so I'm going to grab probably 1 or 2 over there, and then probably 3 over here. And we'll send that off also, so that our nutritionist can make that that change and know what's in this grass hay that we're going to be changing to. Shouldn't be a big change, but always minor changes that we're making. We got the samples here: baleage, haylage, grass hay, earlage. So I'll get the paperwork filled out, ready to go to send off tomorrow morning. Then hopefully John will have them maybe even Tuesday, probably Wednesday, Thursday by the time he'll get them, but get them sent out Monday anyways. It's later in the evening here. Wanted to drive by the alfalfa field. The alfalfa's wet. We had a few pop-up showers come through the area. Ground is wet, but not, I mean, it's damp, not muddy. But if you look off in the distance there, it's getting kind of dark over there. There's some rain coming, more rain coming, so I think unlikely we're gonna be able to cut this tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some sun tomorrow, some heat, dry things out, because it is got some flowers starting to. Don't see any flowers yet, but they're starting to come. Seen the odd one, I guess, but I don't see any here right now. Field looks pretty good. It's between my knees and and my waist quite tall again. I think it'll be good crop. Hopefully we can get it off here in the next couple days. Get some good quality out of this. Oh, here's a flower. That's what an alfalfa flower looks like, if you're wondering. Ideally, we don't want to see any of them or very little. You don't see very many now, but a couple of days will do a lot. Yeah, definitely, I think. I mean, it's going to depend, I guess, how much rain is going to be coming here. Really spotty showers have been coming through. Just rained a little bit at the farm here. A lot of mosquitoes out here. I'm going to get back to the truck. It's a couple days later in the evening here. Just got done mowing Tyson's alfalfa field. Gonna plan to maybe chop that tomorrow afternoon. We'll see how it looks around lunchtime tomorrow. But was thinking about the plastic here yesterday. So the silage we're feeding from right now is actually covered by a one-piece dual plastic from another brand. So it's the same idea. It's got the oxygen barrier is part of this plastic. Just thought I'd show you guys this here quickly. So this is what it looks like. You can't really see it on top, it's kind of dirty from the tires, but you can see it on the bottom here. It's got that mesh in it. So the good thing about this plastic is it's very durable. It's hard to break, rip open. I would say both plastics probably puncture just as easy. Like some of our tires that we use have some wire sticking out of them. They'll puncture this plastic and they'll puncture the Silostop as well. So you still have to be careful either way. The thing that we didn't like about this plastic here, and I don't see it here now, but we had some spots where right on the bottom here near the edge of the plastic where we had some spoilage. I don't see any here, but we can walk over. I parked my truck over there because I thought there'd be some over there and there wasn't. So we had a few spots where it was actually enough to where we had to scrape it off and put it on the manure pile. And it's pretty rare for us to have to clean up our silage pile at all, to clean any spoiled feed off of our silage pile. And I prefer not to do that because it's just wasted money. So you can see up there, you can see a spot. I can walk up there maybe. It's not much, but you could have, if you have a bunch of those spots, it adds up. Here you can see a little bit here too. Again, not much. See, there is a little bit of mold there. And when you do the two plastics, the oxygen barrier and then the protective cover on top, it's pretty rare to have any of those spots. Just climb up here. I don't know if we can see that spot from the top here. I don't want to get too close to the edge. I mean, overall it looks pretty good. Maybe getting a little too picky, but every little bit counts. Just like you don't like to eat moldy salad, cows don't like to eat moldy silage. Just thought I'd show you guys that here quickly. So this silage that we're feeding from here now is actually still 2022 silage. Still have I don't know, a few months of this left. Quite a bit of inventory, which typically is a good thing, not a bad thing, I guess. I'd rather have too much feed than not enough, but once we get into 2023 feed, then it'll be the dual plastic again, the oxygen barrier with the protective cover on top. But there's still a little bit of this left here. Anyways, just was driving by here, thought about it yesterday, so I thought I'd stop and show you guys that quickly. But appreciate you guys watching. Questions, comments, post them down below. Hopefully we'll see you in the next video.